Rainbow Bites, Max and Mira's Fruit and Veggie Adventures ** Max and Mira were brother and sister who loved fruits and vegetables more than anything in the world. They didn't just eat them. They talked about them, sang about them, and told everyone how cool and powerful they were. If you open their lunchboxes, you'd find tiny color parades, orange carrot sticks, green cucumber coins, red strawberry hearts, purple grape balloons, and yellow mango stars. Every Saturday morning, Max and Mira walked to the town market with their canvas bags. The market always smelled like rainbow sweet, fresh, and a little bit sunny. Tents made long, colorful stripes down the street. Vendors called out friendly hellos. A band played cheerful music near the fountain. It sounded like apples bouncing and peas popping. Today, Mira said, "We build the strongest rainbow snack ever." Max nodded. "A rainbow snack that helps us think fast, run far, and laugh longer." They started at Mrs. Kalina's berry stand. The berries were piled like tiny mountains. Strawberries wore green hats. Blueberries looked like midnight buttons. Raspberries were soft castles with secret rooms. "Good morning, berry heroes," Mrs. Kalina said. "What magic are you making today?" "A rainbow snack," Max said, standing on his tiptoes. "A super rainbow," Mira added, "with brain power, eye sparkle, and strong heartbeats." Mrs. Kalina smiled. "Then you want colors that do different jobs." She pointed to the berries. "Red strawberries cheer for your heart. Blueberries help your brain focus like tiny tutors in a bowl." Max whispered, "Tiny tutors," and put a blueberry on his tongue. It popped with a sweet, blue idea. Mira chose strawberries that smelled like summer. "Heart helpers," she said, placing them into a bag. "We'll need green next." They walked to Mr. Theo's leafy tent. Lettuce leaves lay like gentle waves. Spinach stacks looked like superhero capes folded in a neat pile. Cucumber rows were little emerald trains. "Leaf power," Mr. Theo said. "Who wants crunch with a calm mind?" "We do," said both children. Theo gave them a cucumber slice to taste. It was cool and crisp, like a tiny splash of rain. "Greens keep your body steady and your energy smooth," he explained. "They help your eyes see that green is good for seeing, and they help you stay calm when the day feels bumpy." Max crunched. The sound was a happy crick. "Calm crunch," he said. "We'll take spinach for smoothies and cucumbers for coins." Mira added a bunch of spinach to their bag. "Green for calm, blue for brains, red for hearts," she counted. "What about orange for zoom?" They headed to the carrot corner, where carrots stood like little rockets ready for takeoff. Annie Rena wore an orange scarf and had a laugh that sounded like bells. "Carrots for eye sparkle," she sang. "Beta-carotene is the fancy word. Your body turns it into vitamin a helper for seeing, learning, and growing." Max and Mira didn't need fancy words to feel the magic. They munched one carrot each. The sweetness was gentle and earthy, like sunshine mixed with soil. "Eye sparkle confirmed," Mira said, pretending to adjust invisible star-glasses. At the next stall, a pyramid of bell peppers glowed red, yellow, and green. The vendor, Mr. Sammy, tapped a yellow pepper with his knuckle. "Sun in a jacket," he said, "crunchy and full of vitamin C, which keeps your body's tiny helpers, your immune cells, ready to protect." Sun jackets. Max laughed. He imagined little suns wearing pepper coats. By now, their bags were getting heavy. Max's had the berry mountains and sun jackets. Mira's had the calm greens and rocket carrots. They still needed purple. They found purple at Grandma Olga's grape table. The grapes glistened like tiny planets. Nearby, eggplants rested like shiny purple boats. "Purple protects," Grandma Olga said. "It's like a shield for your cells. Strong on the inside, bright on the outside." Mira took a small bunch of grapes. "Cell shields," she repeated. "Perfect for our rainbow. Don't forget white and brown," Grandma Olga said, lifting a basket of mushrooms. "They may not look like a color, but mushrooms bring cozy strength. They help your body keep its balance." Max picked a few, curious. "Cozy strength," he said, imagining small mushroom umbrellas keeping the rain off his tiny helper cells. They paid with their saved coins, waved goodbye, and headed to the picnic tables by the fountain. The band played a new song. It sounded like chopped salad, dancing in a bowl. Max and Mira spread their treasures and began to build. They laid cucumber coins in a circle green wheels. They sliced strawberries into hearts and placed them around the wheel. Blueberries dotted the spaces like little guiding stars. Carrots became orange ribbons. Bell peppers made sunshine. Triangles. Max arranged mushrooms into small clouds. Mira lined up grapes like a purple path that curved across the plate. When they finished, the plate looked like a festival. Presenting, Max said, the Rainbow Bite Builder. Mira raised a finger. Wait, she said, we need a drizzle that tastes like a hug. She mixed plain yogurt with a squeeze of lemon, a drop of honey, and a pinch of cinnamon. She stirred until it was smooth and creamy, a pale swirl that smelled like breakfast and weekend mornings. Together they tasted. Crunch, pop, zing, sweet. The yogurt hug brought everything together. It's not just yummy, Max said. I can feel the powers. Name them. Mira smiled. Red heart cheer. Max began. Blue brain focus. Green calm eyes. Orange sparkle and zoom. Yellow sun jackets for our tiny helper cells. Purple cell shields. Mushrooms cozy strength. And white yogurt? Mira asked. Max licked a spoon. Tummy comfort, he decided. Friendly for the inside. Round them, a few children watched with wide eyes. A boy in a blue cap pointed. What's that? He asked. A rainbow you can eat, Mira said. Every color has a job. Can I try? The boy asked. His mom nodded. They invited him and the other kids to taste. Each bite made a face light up. This one is crunchy rain, said a girl with braided hair, holding a cucumber coin. This one tastes like jumping on a cloud, said the boy, eating a strawberry heart. Max and Mira didn't just feed them food. They fed them fun words that made the food feel alive. Find the tiny tutors, Max said, handing out blueberries. Pick a sun jacket, Mira said, offering yellow pepper triangles. Soon the plate was empty, the rainbow eaten to the last crumb. The children clapped, and the band, seeing the applause, finished their song with a cheerful drum roll. Want to build your own? Mira asked. She showed them how to lay colors in a circle and told them the simple rule. Choose many colors. Choose many powers. A small boy said, but I don't like spinach. That's okay, Max said gently. You can try it in a smoothie where it tastes like a green breeze. Or start with snap peas for crunch. Our tongues learn slowly, like feet learning a new dance. Mira added, brave tasters grow brave bodies. You don't have to love everything at once. Just keep tasting. The market bell rang noon. The air turned warm and soft. Max sat back, happy and full. Mira sipped water and drew a quick picture of their rainbow plate in her little notebook. She wrote simple notes next to each color, like a treasure map for their next visit. Before they packed up, Mr. Theo brought the tiny pots with soil and seeds. For the vegetable heroes, he said, winking, plant these at home. One is basil, one is cherry tomato. You'll taste your own sunlight. Max held the basil pot to his face. It smelled green and peppery. This smells like pizza dreams, he said. Tomato stars, Mira whispered, touching the second pot. We'll grow our own red hearts. They walked home slowly, their bags lighter, their steps brighter. As they crossed the park, they saw a little girl sitting on a bench, looking tired. Her mom had a snack bag with a candy bar in it. Would you like a grape? Mira asked the girl kindly. It's a tiny purple shield. The girl smiled and took one. Then another. It pops, she giggled. Is it magic? Max nodded. Real magic, the kind your body knows. They waved goodbye and headed up the hill to their apartment. In the kitchen, they set the two little pots on the windowsill, where sunlight poured like golden tea. They filled a jar with water and put a few stems of spinach in it, just to see if the leaves would stand up like little sails. They washed the plates and arranged rainbow snacks for their parents Before nap time, their mom came in. "I smell a farmer's market adventure," she said. "We taught kids to build rainbows," Max reported. "We shared sun jackets. We found tiny tutors," Mira added, "and cozy strength." Their parents laughed, and then they ate, slowly, smiling. Max and Mira sat with them, legs swinging from the chairs, feeling like chefs and teachers and explorers all at once. When quiet settled on the apartment, Max took a pencil and wrote a promise on a sticky note. One rainbow every day. He stuck it on the fridge where everyone could see. Mira drew small checkboxes next to the words: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, white, brown. She added a little star: water. "Because water is the road our food travels on," she said. "It helps the colors get to where they need to go." They clinked their glasses of water like knights clinking shields. The basil leaves waved in the window as if they were clapping. That night, Max and Mira fell asleep dreaming of color stacks and crunch songs, of yogurt hugs and tomato stars, of new friends who would build their own plates and give their bodies a team of tiny helpers. They did not dream of candy castles or soda rivers. They dreamed of markets that smelled like rainbows and mornings that tasted like sunlight. And in the corner of the kitchen, the two little pots waited, quiet and patient, ready to grow. Max and Mira's apartment building was tall and square, with red bricks that glowed warm in the sun. From the street, no one could guess that the roof held a secret, but Max and Mira knew. It was their favorite place in the whole city, the rooftop garden. Their parents had helped build it with the neighbors. Together, they carried bags of soil, planted seeds, and painted wooden boxes. Now, the garden was alive with colors and smells. Tomatoes glowing like red lanterns, cucumbers climbing fences, beans dangling like green earrings, and rows of lettuce that looked like ruffled skirts. Max pushed the door open, and a warm breeze kissed their faces. Mira carried the two little pots they'd gotten from the market: basil and cherry tomato seedlings. She placed them in a sunny corner. "Welcome home," she whispered to the plants. "Here you can stretch your leaves as far as you like." The basil plant seemed to perk up instantly, as if it understood. The tomato seedling trembled gently in the breeze, like it was nodding. Max set down his backpack and ran to the strawberry patch. He crouched low and spotted tiny white flowers with yellow centers. Some had already turned into little green berries, and just one was blushing red. "First berry alert," he shouted. Mira hurried over. "Let's check if it's ready." They bent close. The berry wasn't just red. It was shiny, plump, and smelled sweet. Mira touched it carefully. It slipped right off the stem and landed in her palm. "One berry, two mouths," Max said. "Math says we share." She nodded. Together, they bit into it. Juice ran down their chins. It tasted like sunshine and laughter. They both giggled. "It's like a promise," Mira said, licking her lips. "The plants promise more if we care for them." They began their garden chores. Max watered the bean stalks, humming a tune that splashed with every pour. Mira plucked weeds, setting them aside for the compost bin. They checked the lettuce, stroked the cucumber vines, and whispered kind words to the carrot tops. "Plants listen," Mira explained. "If you tell them they're strong, they grow stronger." "Then we should tell them fruit jokes," Max said. He cleared his throat. "Why did the banana go to the doctor?" "Because it wasn't peeling well," Mira groaned. But the cucumber leaves looked shinier, somehow. After chores, they sat in the shade of a fig tree. Their neighbor, Mrs. Holla, appeared, carrying a basket. She wore a wide straw hat, and her cheeks were as round as apples. Helpers of the garden. She greeted them. "Would you like to harvest some peas with me?" "Yes, please," said Max. He loved the snap of pea pods. They followed her to the trellis, where pea vines curled like green handwriting. The pods dangled heavy. "Peas are green pearls," Mrs. Hollis said. "They hold protein, which is like building blocks for your muscles." Mira popped a pod open. Inside, Round piece shone like marbles. She tossed one into her mouth. It was sweet and soft. Tiny green pearls of strength. She repeated. They filled a bowl, and Mrs. Holla promised to share them later for dinner. Fresh peas taste like spring, she said. Nothing better. While Max and Mira rested again, a pigeon landed nearby. It tilted its head and cooed. In its beak was a small piece of paper, folded like a note. A message. Mira wondered. The pigeon hopped closer and dropped the paper at her feet. Then it flew away, feathers flashing silver. Max unfolded the note. In neat handwriting it said, "Eat the rainbow. Find the key. Colors together set you free." They stared at each other. What does it mean? Max asked. Maybe it's a riddle, Mira guessed. Maybe someone wants us to keep building rainbow plates. They tucked the note into Mira's notebook, where she kept drawings of their meals. We'll solve it later, she said. Just then, their dad climbed up the stairs. Snack time? Chefs, he called, carrying a tray. On it were slices of watermelon, chilled and glistening, each piece glowing red with black seeds like tiny buttons. Watermelon. Max cheered. He grabbed a slice and bit into it. The juice was so cold, it made him laugh. Mira followed, crunching into hers. Watermelon is water treasure, she said. It keeps us cool, like drinking sunshine ice. Their dad nodded. Exactly. Watermelon hydrates. That means it fills your cells with water, helping you stay fresh in the heat. They finished their slices and licked their fingers. Mira saved the seeds in a cup. Maybe we can grow watermelons here too, she whispered to Max. The afternoon stretched lazy and warm. They built a salad from what they gathered. Lettuce leaves, cucumber slices, peas, a sprinkle of basil, and a squeeze of lemon. They ate slowly, savoring each bite. It wasn't just food, it was fuel and joy and story. When the sun began to set, the sky painted itself orange and purple. Birds flew in V-shapes, calling to each other. Max and Mira packed their tools, watered the seedlings once more, and promised the plants they'd return tomorrow. As they walked downstairs, Max whispered, "Do you think the rainbow riddle is magic?" "Maybe," Mira said, "but even if it's not, eating colors already feels magical." They reached their kitchen, where their mom was chopping onions. Tears sparkled in her eyes. "Onions are funny," she said, laughing at herself. "They make you cry, but they also protect your body. They fight off little germs." Max offered her a pea pod. "Tiny pearls of strength," he said. Mira placed the note on the table. "We found this on the roof." Their parents read it and raised their eyebrows. "A rainbow key," their mom said. "That sounds like an adventure." Max and Mira grinned. Adventures tasted best with fruits and veggies, after all, and they were just getting started. That night, they fell asleep side by side, dreaming of pigeon messengers, rainbow feasts, and secret keys hidden in colors. The basil on the windowsill gave off a sleepy perfume. The tomato seedling stretched an inch taller, as if it had heard the dream too. The next morning, the sun peeked into Max and Mira's room like a golden visitor. The curtains glowed, and birds outside chirped in quick, cheerful sentences. Max stretched until his toes touched the end of the blanket. Mira sat up, her hair messy like a strawberry bush. "Rainbow mission today?" she asked. Max grinned. "Yes." The note from the pigeon wasn't a dream. "We need more colors." They dressed quickly, packed their canvas bags, and asked their parents if they could take a picnic to the lake. Their mom filled two bottles with cold water and added a few slices of lemon and cucumber. Their dad gave them a loaf of fresh bread, still warm from the oven. "Bread is brown energy," he said. "Whole grains give you lasting fuel, so you don't run out of Zoom." "Zoom fuel accepted," Max said, tucking the loaf into the bag. On the way, they stopped by the market again. The vendors smiled when they saw them. "Ah, the rainbow builders return," Mrs. Kalina said, offering them a basket of cherries. "Red drops of joy, great for your blood and your smiles." "Joy confirmed," Mira said, popping one into her mouth. The juice stained her lips bright red. Myrrh. Theo gave them a bunch of kale leaves. Strong green sails for your boat, he explained. They carry calcium for bones. Auntie Rena handed them sweet potatoes, glowing orange under the morning sun. Orange roots with power for running and jumping. Grandma Olha added plums, dark purple and soft, for your memory, so you remember what matters. They thanked each vendor, their bags heavy with treasure. Then they walked through the park, across the meadow, and down the hill to the lake. The water spread wide and calm, a giant mirror reflecting the sky. They chose a spot under a willow tree. Its branches swept down like curtains, making a green tent. Birds swooped above, and dragonflies zipped in the air, their wings flashing like tiny rainbows. Mira spread a blanket. Max unpacked the food. They laid it out in a circle. Bread in the center, cherries in one bowl, kale leaves on a plate, sweet potatoes in a basket, plums in a small dish. From yesterday, they had cucumber coins and basil, plus a jar of hummus their mom had made from chickpeas. Rainbow building station ready, Max said. Mira pulled out her notebook. She drew a big circle and began to fill in sections with colors. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, brown, white. She murmured, "We need something yellow today." As if on cue, a family nearby opened their basket. A little boy ran over with a grin. "Want some yellow corn?" he asked. "We roasted too much." "Yes, please," Max said. The boy handed them to golden cobs, still steaming, butter melted between the kernels. They thanked him, and Mira colored yellow into her circle. "Corn is sunshine locked in rose," she explained. "It helps our eyes and gives us energy to play." They started their picnic. Max spread hummus on bread slices, adding kale leaves and cherry halves. Mira mashed sweet potatoes with basil and spread the bright orange paste on another slice. They each took bites and closed their eyes. Crunchy calm, sweet zoom, leafy sails. Max mumbled happily. Red joy, green strength, orange sparkle, Mira added. They laughed, then traded sandwiches to taste each other's inventions. The dragonflies hovered closer, curious. One landed on the plum dish. Mira giggled. Even dragonflies want purple for memory. After lunch, they lay on the blanket, watching clouds. One cloud looked like a carrot rocket, another like a giant apple. Max pointed. Fruit and veggie sky parade. Mira whispered, maybe the pigeon note meant that the rainbow key is not one thing, but the habit of eating many colors. That's the key to feeling strong and free. Max thought about it. Then every picnic is like unlocking the door to health. Exactly, Mira said. She scribbled in her notebook. The rainbow key equals colors together. Suddenly, a splash echoed from the lake. They sat up. A family of ducks paddled near the shore, but one little duckling seemed tired, lagging behind. Its feathers were puffed, and it looked weak. Mira frowned. Poor baby. Maybe it needs something. Max looked at their food. Do ducks eat peas? Worth a try, Mira said. She offered a few peas from a small bag. The duckling nibbled, then quacked softly, swimming faster to catch up with its family. Green pearls for ducks too, Max whispered. They felt proud, like tiny doctors with vegetable medicine. Food was not just fuel for them. It was kindness for others. In the afternoon, more families arrived at the lake. Some brought chips, candy, and soda. Max and Mira saw kids crunching, slurping, and then complaining of tummy aches. Mira opened her notebook and drew a quick comic. In it, a superhero carrot blasted lasers and a soda monster. A blueberry wizard built a shield around kids. A broccoli knight carried a green sword of vitamins. Max held it up. Want to see? He asked the kids nearby. They came closer, giggling at the drawings. What are those? One girl asked. Our heroes, Mira explained. Every fruit and veggie is a hero. They fight for your body. Max added. When you eat chips, you get only crunch and salt. But when you eat carrots or grapes, you get crunch plus powers. The kids looked at their snacks. One boy traded a chip for a cherry. He chewed and smiled. This tastes like red fireworks. Soon more children came. They built a giant rainbow salad together. Each family added something. A mother sliced bananas, a father cut cucumbers, a girl brought pineapple chunks, and someone else offered blueberries. The blanket became a colorful feast that they ate together, laughing. The soda bottles stayed closed, forgotten. The chips were left half finished, but the rainbow plate was empty in minutes. When the sun dipped low, painting the lake gold, the families packed up. Many thanked Max and Mira. You've made eating colors fun. One parent said that the siblings felt proud. They weren't just eating better, they were helping others. As they walked home, Max whispered, "Do you think the rainbow key is also about sharing? Not just eating for ourselves?" Mira nodded. Yes, the rainbow grows brighter when more people join it. At home, their parents listened to their story. Their mom hugged them. You've discovered something powerful. Food is love. Food is teaching. Food is sharing. Their dad tapped the fridge note one rainbow every day. Now it means one rainbow for everyone we can reach. That night, Max and Mira brushed their teeth with strawberry-flavored toothpaste. They looked in the mirror, their smiles glowing. Mira raised her toothbrush like a wand. "We are Rainbow Guardians," she said. Max laughed and copied her. "Rainbow Guardians forever." They went to bed, their bellies full of colors, their notebooks full of stories, and their hearts full of joy. The pigeon with silver feathers perched on the balcony rail. It watched them with knowing eyes, then flew into the night, carrying their laughter to the stars. The morning was fresh and breezy. Clouds drifted lazily like white boats, and the air smelled faintly of earth after rain. Max and Mira sat at the breakfast table, nibbling toast with avocado spread and slices of juicy tomato. Their mom placed a bowl of papaya chunks in front of them. The fruit glowed bright orange. "Papaya is sunshine fruit," she said. "It's full of vitamin C and helps your tummy." Max scooped a chunk into his mouth. "It's like sweet medicine that laughs," he said. Mira nodded, writing in her notebook, "Papaya equals tummy healer." Just then, a flutter of wings caught their attention. The silver-feathered pigeon landed on the windowsill again. It carried another folded note in its beak. The bird cooed softly and dropped it onto the table before flying away. Max unfolded the paper. The handwriting was neat, but playful. "Seek the golden carrot at the hilltop farm. It shines only for those who taste the rainbow." Mira's eyes widened. "The golden carrot? That sounds magical." Max grinned. Adventure time. They packed their bags with water bottles, apples, and a handful of nuts. Mira added colored pencils and her notebook. "We must record everything," she said. "A real adventure journal." Their dad waved as they left. "Bring back stories with your veggies," he called. The hilltop farm was 2 miles away. They walked through the town, past the market tents, where vendors greeted them like old friends, Rainbow Guardians. Annie Rena called, handing them to carrots for the road, orange rockets to keep you fast. They munched happily as they walked up the winding path toward the hills. The air grew cooler, the breeze stronger. Fields stretched wide on either side, dotted with grazing cows and fluttering butterflies. The sky was so blue, it looked painted. At last, they reached the farm gate. A wooden sign read, "Sunrise Acres." Rows of crops lined the land, corn waving like golden flags, beans climbing poles, tomatoes glowing red in neat rows. An old farmer with kind eyes met them. His beard was as white as cauliflower. "Welcome, little explorers," he said. "What brings you here?" Max held out the note. "We're looking for a golden carrot." The farmer chuckled. "Ah, the golden carrot. Few have seen it. It grows only when children love vegetables with their whole hearts." "We do," Mira said quickly. "We love them more than candy." The farmer's eyes twinkled. "Then you may have a chance. Follow me." He led them through the fields, teaching them as they walked. "These rows of beets," he said, pointing to purple roots, "are full of iron. They keep your blood strong, carrying oxygen like tiny delivery trucks." Mira scribbled notes. "Beet trucks for blood. These sunflowers He continued, give seeds with healthy fats. They keep your brain happy. Brain snacks, Max said, cracking a seed with his teeth. And here, the farmer added, stopping by a row of pumpkins. These are full of orange glow. They help your skin and eyes. They finally reached a patch of carrots. Their green tops waved in the breeze. The soil smelled rich and sweet. Somewhere in here, the farmer said, is the golden one. Max and Mira knelt, brushing soil gently with their hands. They pulled out carrot after carrot, crunchy, orange, delicious, but none golden. Mira paused. Maybe it only shows itself if we share. She remembered the kids at the lake. Max, let's build a rainbow plate here. They gathered beets, corn, tomatoes, kale, and carrots. Mira arranged them on a wooden board the farmer gave them. Together, they built a rainbow circle. Max sliced apples from his bag and placed them like stars round the edge. Colors together, Mira whispered. That's the key. Suddenly, the soil under one carrot shimmered. A golden glow spread upward. Max tugged gently, and out came a carrot, glowing like treasure. Its skin was bright gold, shining even in the daylight. The golden carrot. Max gasped. The farmer clapped his hands. Well done. The carrot grows only when friends honor all colors of nature. Mira held it close. What does it do? The farmer's voice softened. Legends say it can grant strength, but not the kind for lifting rocks. Strength of kindness, of patience, of courage to choose what is good. Max smiled. That's better than lifting rocks. They thanked the farmer and sat under a tree to share a meal. They sliced the golden carrot, and each took a bite. The taste was sweeter than any carrot they had ever known, like sunshine, honey, and hope all mixed together. Max felt warmth spread through his chest. Mira felt her thoughts grow clear, like a calm lake. This isn't just food, Mira whispered. It's a lesson. When we eat colors, we don't just feed our bodies. We feed our hearts. The farmer nodded. Remember that? And remember, the golden carrot will shine again whenever children choose rainbows over shadows. They promised to spread the lesson. On the way home, Max and Mira shared apples with a group of children playing by the road. They told them about the golden carrot, explaining that it wasn't about magic spells, but about loving the colors of food. The kids laughed and joined in, each promising to eat one more color at dinner. By the time Max and Mira reached their apartment, the sun was setting. The pigeon waited on the balcony, watching with its bright eyes. Mira showed it the golden carrot slice she'd saved. The pigeon pecked once, as if approving, then flew off toward the horizon. That night, the siblings added a new promise to the fridge: golden choices every day. Beneath it, they drew a rainbow key. As they drifted to sleep, Mira whispered, the golden carrot is inside us now. Max yawned. We just have to keep sharing it. The basil plant on the windowsill gave off a gentle green scent, as if agreeing. The town announced it every summer, the festival of colors. It was the happiest day of the year. The streets filled with banners, music, and laughter. Stalls lined up with fruits, vegetables, and homemade treats. Families gathered to celebrate nature's harvest, each bringing dishes as bright as rainbows. Max and Mira woke up buzzing with excitement. Their mom braided Mira's hair with tiny ribbons. Their dad polished Max's sandals until they shone. The children packed their basket carefully: strawberries, kale leaves, sweet potatoes, plums, apples, basil, cucumbers, and most importantly, a small slice of the golden carrot, wrapped safely in a leaf. This festival is about sharing, Mira said. So we'll share the story of the golden carrot too. Their parents nodded. Stories feed hearts as much as food feeds bodies. The town square looked like a painting. Stalls overflowed with baskets of peaches, pyramids of peppers, towers of tomatoes, and rivers of corn. Musicians played violins and flutes. Children ran with painted faces, their cheeks like ripe cherries. Balloons floated high, tugged by strings like rainbow vines. At the center stood a huge wooden table, shaped like a circle. It was empty now, but waiting to be filled with dishes from everyone in town. Above it, a banner read, "One table, many colors." Max and Mira set down their basket. Mira opened her notebook and began to sketch ideas. "We need to make a dish that shows every color." Max pointed. "Look, blueberries. We can add those." He ran to a stand and returned with a small basket of blue jewels. They worked quickly. Max sliced cucumbers into green coins and laid them in a spiral. Mira arranged strawberries into red hearts, plums into purple moons, sweet potatoes into orange ribbons, and apples into white stars. She sprinkled basil leaves like confetti. Max carefully placed the golden carrot slice in the middle, glowing like the sun. When they finished, the dish looked like a shining wheel. People gathered around. Children gasped. Adults smiled. "What is this?" Someone asked. "Our rainbow dish," Mira explained. "Every color has a job. Red cheers for your heart, green calms your body, orange makes your eyes sparkle, yellow brings sunshine energy, purple shields your cells, white gives cozy balance, and brown grains keep you strong," Max added. "And this," he pointed to the golden carrot slice, "is a reminder. When we eat many colors, we unlock the rainbow key: health, kindness, and courage." The crowd clapped. The mayor, a kind woman with a necklace of sunflower seeds, stepped forward. "Beautiful lesson," she said. "Would you share it with everyone here?" Max swallowed nervously. Mira squeezed his hand. Together, they stood on a small bench so everyone could see them. Max took a deep breath. Mira opened her notebook. They told the story of the pigeon notes, the rainbow meals, the golden carrot at the farm, and the lesson they had learned. As they spoke, people leaned closer. Children's eyes widened. Grown-ups nodded thoughtfully. Mira ended with, "The golden carrot's magic isn't about being strong in muscles. It's about being strong in love, choosing foods that care for us and sharing them with others." A hush followed. Then a cheer so loud, it echoed off the rooftops. Families brought their dishes to the table. Bowls of beet salad, plates of cornbread, trays of roasted peppers, baskets of cherries and pears, pots of lentil soup. Soon the table overflowed with colors, a feast of the earth's gifts. The eating began. Everyone sat together. No one left out. Max tasted pineapple chunks, sweet as golden laughter. Mira sipped beet soup, rich and purple. Their parents shared roasted zucchini with lemon. Neighbors passed bowls around, trading flavors and smiles. "Food feels different when everyone eats together," Mira whispered. "Like one big family," Max agreed. Halfway through, the silver pigeon swooped down, landing on the table. In its beak was another note. It dropped it beside the golden carrot slice. People gasped. The bird seemed magical now. Mira unfolded the paper. It said, "You have found the golden carrot. Now use its light to help others see the rainbow. Teach, share, and guide." The mayor read it aloud. She looked at Max and Mira. "Will you be our rainbow guides?" The siblings nodded. Their hearts swelled. They weren't just children who loved fruits and vegetables anymore. They were teachers, storytellers, guardians of color. The festival grew even brighter. Max and Mira led games. Color hunt. Children searched for red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple foods among the stalls. Each time they found one, they shouted its power aloud. Taste test. Blindfolded, kids guessed fruits and veggies by flavor and texture. Crunchy cucumber coin. One shouted, "Sweet mango sun." Another laughed. Rainbow relay. Teams raced to build the fastest rainbow plate, placing one fruit or vegetable of each color. The finish line looked like a parade of dishes. Laughter filled the square. Parents joined too, learning powers they had never known. "I didn't realize plums help memory," one father said, eating 3 in a row. "Guess I'll never forget again." Max and Mira shared their golden carrot slice. They cut it into tiny pieces so many could taste. Each person who tried it felt a little spark, warmth in the chest, clarity in the mind, a smile without reason. The carrot wasn't just food. It was reminder. By evening, lanterns lit the square. The rainbow table was nearly empty, every dish enjoyed. Children danced in circles. Musicians played songs that sounded like crunchy bites and juicy bursts. The mayor raised her hand. Today, thanks to Max and Mira, we remember health is in colors, strength is in sharing, magic is in kindness. She placed 2 medals round their necks, shiny discs shaped like apples, engraved with a rainbow. Rainbow guardians of our town, she declared. The crowd cheered. Max and Mira blushed but felt proud. They had never wanted candy medals or toy prizes. This medal was better, a symbol of their promise. On the walk home, the siblings were quiet, holding hands. The stars twinkled above like faraway blueberries. Mira finally spoke. Do you think the pigeon will send more notes? Max grinned. Of course. Adventures never stop when you eat the rainbow. At home, they placed the medals on their windowsill beside the basil and tomato plants. The basil smelled stronger, the tomato taller than before. The golden carrot slice, though smaller now, still glowed faintly. Their mom kissed their foreheads. I am proud of my rainbow guides. Their dad added, and tomorrow we'll eat a rainbow breakfast to celebrate. As they drifted into sleep, Max dreamed of a table that stretched across the world, covered with colors, with children from every land sharing fruits and vegetables, laughing together. Mira dreamed of a sky where clouds rained berries and sunshine grew carrots in the air. Both dreams met in the middle, making a rainbow bridge. And far away, the silver pigeon flew beneath the stars, carrying their story to the next town, where another child might need a rainbow key. The morning after the festival, the whole town still seemed to glow. Streamers hung from balconies, and the streets smelled faintly of roasted corn and sweet berries. Max and Mira woke up, still wearing their medals. They jingled softly when they moved. Where do we go next? Max asked, stretching. Mira opened her notebook. The last pigeon note had said, teach, share, and guide. She tapped her pencil against the page. We've shared stories and games, but maybe there's more. As if on cue, the silver pigeon landed on their windowsill. This time, instead of a folded note, it carried a small seed pouch tied with red thread. The pouch was old but strong, stitched with patterns of leaves. Inside were tiny seeds of many shapes, round, flat, striped, speckled. A small card was tucked in the pouch. Mira read it aloud. Every seed is a library. Plant them to open books of taste, health, and memory. Go to the Hill of Echoes and start the Library of Seeds. Max's eyes sparkled. A library we can eat. Mira nodded seriously. Let's go. They packed a basket with water, apples, cucumbers, and bread. Their parents kissed their cheeks. Adventures grow bigger with every step, their mom said. Be safe and listen to the land. They set off toward the Hill of Echoes, a quiet place beyond the river. Birds chirped in chorus as they walked, and butterflies floated above their heads like flying petals. The hill rose gently, covered in wildflowers that bent in the breeze. When they reached the top, they heard it. Every sound they made bounced back softly, as if the hill itself was speaking. Hello, Max shouted. The word returned. Hello, hello, Mira laughed. Perfect for planning stories. They knelt on the earth and opened the seed pouch. The seeds glimmered in the sunlight, each one a secret waiting to be told. They planted carefully, red bean seeds in one row. These will cheer hearts, Mira said. Golden corn kernels in another. Sun jackets, Max whispered. Green pea seeds scattered like pearls. Strength for muscles. Purple beet seeds tucked deep. Blood trucks, orange pumpkin seeds pressed gently. I sparkle. White garlic cloves nestled in the soil. Protection against germs. They watered each row and whispered kind words. Grow strong, grow kind, grow for everyone. As they finished, the willow tree nearby rustled, though no wind blew. Its voice was deep and gentle. Children, you have planted more than food. You have planted lessons. Each plant will be a book. When people taste them, they will learn. Max blinked. So the Library of Seeds is real? Yes, said the willow. But a library is nothing if no one visits. Invite the town. Teach them how to read the colors. That afternoon, Max and Mira returned with their parents and neighbors. They explained the idea, a garden that was also a library. Each plant taught something. Each harvest was a page to read with the tongue and body. The mayor arrived, curious. Can we borrow from this library? She asked. Yes, Mira said. But instead of returning books, you plant seeds again. Return 1, plant 2, Max added. That way the library grows. The people loved the idea. They brought compost, built raised beds, and painted signs. Soon the hilltop bloomed with rows of rainbow plants, each labeled with powers. Red equals heart, orange equals eyes, yellow equals energy, green equals calm, blue, purple equals memory, white, brown equals balance. Children visited after school, carrying notebooks like Mira's. They drew pictures of cucumbers and wrote, cool like rain. They sketched blueberries and scribbled, brain sparks. The garden was alive with laughter and learning. One evening, as the sun set golden, the shadow fox appeared at the edge of the hill. Its golden eyes glowed, but softer than before. Max and Mira froze, but the fox did not growl. It sniffed the air, curious. Mira stepped forward carefully. This is a library of seeds. It's not for taking, it's for learning. The fox tilted its head. I feel hunger, but also calm. The smells are strong. Max held out a beet. Taste and see. The fox hesitated, then nibbled. Its eyes flickered. Sweet earth, it murmured. Like roots of memory. It did not lunge or threaten. It sat quietly, listening to the wind in the plants. For the first time, the shadow fox looked less empty, more at home. Mira whispered, maybe even shadows can read in this library. Weeks passed. The seeds grew into plants, and the hill turned into a rainbow quilt. Families came to harvest, always planting new seeds in return. Songs were sung, stories shared. The pigeon watched from above, satisfied. Max and Mira learned to, from carrots, patience. They took time to grow, but rewarded with sweetness. From peas, teamwork. They clung to each other for support. From pumpkins, generosity. They gave more seeds than anyone expected. From garlic, quiet strength. Small cloves, big power. The children wrote these lessons in Mira's notebook, which was becoming thick with drawings and words. It's like we're writing a rainbow dictionary, Max said. Not just of food, Mira added, of life. One morning, the mayor gathered the town at the hill. She held up a seed pouch, like the pigeons. This garden has changed us. We eat better, feel stronger, and share more. Let's carry this idea to other towns. A library of seeds in every place. The people cheered. Max and Mira beamed. Their adventure had grown larger than they ever imagined. That night, under the stars, the siblings sat by their window. The basil plant glowed with health. The tomato seedling now bore its first tiny green fruit. Their petals shone in the moonlight. We started with just loving fruits and veggies, Max whispered. And now we're rainbow guides for a whole town, Mira replied. They clinked their glasses of water. To seeds, stories, and rainbows, they said together. The pigeon flew past, leaving a single feather on the sill. It shimmered silver, a quiet sign that the journey was far from over. Somewhere, another child in another town was waiting to learn the secret of the rainbow key. Max and Mira smiled as sleep carried them into dreams of endless gardens. Golden carrots glowing in every field, and children everywhere reading the delicious library of seeds. The sun rose with a golden smile, and the world stretched awake. Birds chirped from the rooftops, and the basil plant on Max and Mira's windowsill waved gently in the morning breeze. The children had just finished breakfast bowls of oatmeal, topped with slices of mango, blueberries, and walnuts when the silver pigeon landed once again. This time, it carried not just a note, but a small map tied to its leg. Max untied the string carefully. The note read, "Beyond the river lies Fruit Valley. There you will find the orchard of many tongues, where fruits whisper their stories, listen, learn, and bring their lessons back to the library of seeds. Mira's eyes sparkled. An orchard that speaks. Imagine what apples and pears could tell us. Max grinned. Or bananas. Maybe they'll even sing. They packed their bags with water, sandwiches, and a few cucumbers for crunch. Mira tucked her notebook inside, along with colored pencils. Their parents kissed them goodbye. Travel kindly, their mom said. Remember, the best way to listen is with patience. The bridge of colors children followed the map to the wide river. Its waters glittered under the morning sun, flowing fast and full. At first, they worried there would be no way to cross. But then they saw it, a bridge made entirely of baskets, filled with fruits and vegetables. Red apples formed the start, followed by orange pumpkins, yellow squash, green cucumbers, blue plums, and purple grapes. The bridge stretched across the river like a rainbow made solid. Max stepped onto the apple basket first. It wobbled, then steadied. Crunch bridge, he whispered. Mira followed, balancing carefully. Each step made a faint sound, as though the fruits themselves were humming encouragement. They crossed slowly, feeling safe under the colors. When they reached the other side, they laughed. The rainbow really does carry us, Mira said. Entering Fruit Valley was more beautiful than they could have imagined. Orchards stretched for miles, dotted with trees heavy with fruit. Apple trees bowed under red and green globes. Pear trees held golden lanterns. Plum trees shimmered with purple jewels. There were groves of bananas, rows of pineapples, and even fig trees with plump, sweet treasures. But the strangest part was the air. It wasn't silent. It wasn't noisy either. It was filled with whispers. Soft, clear, playful whispers, as if every tree wanted to tell its story. Max gasped. They really do talk. Mira pulled out her notebook. Let's listen. The apple story thief stopped at the first apple tree. A red apple swayed low, almost brushing Mira's cheek. The whisper was gentle, like a grandmother telling a bedtime tale. I am apple, it said. I give fiber to keep bellies happy and vitamin C to protect from colds. Bite me, and I'll keep your smile strong. Mira wrote quickly. Apple equals belly helper plus cold fighter. She sketched a small apple with a cape. Apple hero, she whispered. Max plucked the apple carefully, polished it on his shirt, and took a bite. Crunch, sweet juice filled his mouth. It tastes like crisp morning air, he said. Mira tasted too and nodded. Like sunshine bottled. The bananas song next. They found a banana grove. The bananas hung in bunches like golden smiles. One peeled itself slightly, whispering in a sing-song rhythm. I am banana. I carry potassium, which helps your muscles and heart. I give quick energy for running and jumping. Peel me, eat me, and I'll carry you forward. Max flexed his arms. Banana muscles. He pretended to lift a tree. Mira laughed, writing. Banana equals muscle helper plus energy. They split one banana between them. The creamy sweetness was like soft music in their mouths. Max declared. Bananas taste like joy on a swing. Mira added, and like naps and hammocks. The grapes' memoria cluster of grapes glistened nearby. They spoke in tiny voices, many at once, like a choir of children. We are grapes. We give antioxidants, small shields for your cells. We keep memories strong and hearts steady. Eat us, and you'll remember kindness. Mira wrote, grapes equals cell shields plus memory. She drew grapes as tiny knights with round shields. Max ate one and sighed. This grape tastes like a story that won't be forgotten. The pineapples sparked further along. A pineapple plant stood tall, spiky leaves pointing proudly. The fruit whispered with zest. I am pineapple. I bring vitamin C and bromelain, which helps digestion. I am sharp and sweet, like fireworks for your tongue. Taste me and feel fresh. Mira cut a small piece with her pocket knife. They tasted it together. The juice tingled, making their tongues dance. Max laughed. It's like eating sunshine sparks. Mira scribbled. Pineapple equals digestion helper plus spark of freshness. The orchard of many tongue guests deeper they walked, the louder the whispers became. Fruits of every color called to them, each sharing powers, pears, gentle sweetness for digestion, figs, energy for long journeys, pomegranates, red jewels for strong blood, blueberries, brain boosters and vision helpers, mangoes, golden fruit for skin glow and immunity. Mira filled pages of her notebook with drawings and notes. Max helped by tasting everything, declaring, "Field research." They laughed until their cheeks hurt. The lesson of sharing as they prepared to leave, they saw a group of children from a nearby village. They were sitting sadly under a tree, holding only a few plain rolls of bread. Their eyes followed Max and Mira's basket, full of fruit. Max hesitated. Mira whispered, "Remember the golden carrot. Strength means sharing." They walked over. "Would you like some fruit?" Max asked. The children nodded eagerly. Mira gave them apples, bananas, and grapes. Their faces lit up with smiles. One boy whispered, "It tastes like magic." Another girl said, "My belly feels happy already." Max felt warmth in his chest. Mira wrote one more note. "Sharing multiplies the rainbow." Returning homies, the sun began to set. They walked back across the rainbow bridge. The pigeon flew overhead, guiding them. At home, they added new seeds to the library of seeds. Apple, banana, grape, pineapple, pear, and more. They planted them in neat rows, labeling each with powers and stories. The townspeople came to see. Children tasted bananas and ran races. Elders sipped grape juice and smiled at memories. Families built rainbow plates even bigger than before. The library grew louder with laughter, brighter with colors. That night, Max and Mira sat by their window, metals shining, notebook full. Mira whispered, "The fruits don't just give us vitamins. They give us stories." Max nodded, "And every story makes us stronger." The pigeon perched on the sill, leaving another feather before flying into the night. Max and Mira knew more adventures were waiting. The rainbow road was long, but they were ready. The day after their journey to Fruit Valley, Max and Mira woke to the sound of raindrops tapping the window. The rain was gentle, not stormy, more like tiny fingers playing a drum. Their basil plant looked especially green and happy, drinking in the moisture from the air. While they ate breakfast scrambled eggs with spinach and toast topped with tomato slices, the silver pigeon read, "Earned." This time, instead of a note or a map, it carried a small wooden token carved with the shape of a leaf. The token glowed faintly, as if holding a secret. Mira turned it over. On the back were words etched deeply. "Enter the vegetable maze. Learn the paths of patience and discovery. Only those who respect every leaf can find the way out." Max's eyes widened. "A maze made of vegetables. That sounds amazing." Mira giggled. "Or amazing." She jotted the clue into her notebook. "Let's go." The entrance to the maze map from the previous day showed a spot beyond the fields where the land dipped into a shallow valley. There, they found tall hedges made entirely of living vegetables. Green bean vines climbed sky high, cucumbers dangled like lanterns, and squash leaves spread wide, enough to be umbrellas. The entrance was marked by two giant cabbages, round as boulders. An old gardener sat nearby, sharpening a hoe. His hat was patched, and his smile was as soft as soil. "Looking for the maze?" he asked. "Yes," Max said, holding up the wooden token. The gardener nodded. "Then remember, the maze doesn't test your speed. It tests your care. Rush, and you'll get lost. Notice, and the plants themselves will guide you." Mira tucked the advice into her heart. "Notice and listen," she whispered. First path. The lettuce landed. Stepped inside, and the world changed. The tall hedges blocked the outside view. Paths twisted and turned, lined with vegetables in neat rows. The air smelled green and fresh, almost like soup before it's cooked. The first path was lined with lettuce. Big, leafy heads stretched on both sides, their ruffled edges brushing gently against the siblings' arms. As they walked, Mira noticed some leaves were drooping. "They need water," she said. Max poured carefully from his bottle onto the soil. The leaves perked up instantly. A whisper floated through the lane. Those who care may pass. The hedge shifted, opening a new path ahead. Max grinned. Helping lettuce open the way. Second path. The carrot corridor. This path was lined with rows of carrot tops, their feathery leaves tickling the air. The ground was bumpy, with roots pushing up like tiny hills. Max bent down and tugged gently at one carrot. It came free, orange and glowing. He split it in half and gave Mira a piece. They crunched together, sweet and earthy. Suddenly, the soil glowed under their feet, showing arrows pointing forward. Mira laughed. The carrots gave us directions when we tasted them. She wrote in her notebook, "Carrots equals guides of the earth." Third path. The cucumber tunnel. They entered a tunnel where cucumber vines stretched overhead, forming a leafy roof. Long cucumbers dangled like green lanterns. Drops of water clung to them, sparkling. Max reached up and picked one. He bit into it, juice dripping down his chin. "Crunchy rain," he said. Mira followed, and the cucumbers seemed to hum with approval. At once, the tunnel lit up with soft green light. The end of the tunnel opened, revealing another path. "See," Mira whispered. "Notice and taste the plants. Want us to understand them." Fourth path. The pepper passage. Bright peppers line the next stretch. Red, yellow, orange, and green bulbs glowed like little lamps. But the passage split into 4 directions, each one marked by a different color. "Which way?" Max asked. Mira thought, maybe the peppers want us to know all colors matter. They each picked one pepper of each color, slicing tiny bites to taste. Red was sweet and bold. Yellow was sunny and bright. Orange was tangy and warm. Green was crisp and fresh. As soon as they swallowed, the 4 paths merged into one, the hedges rearranging themselves. Mira scribbled, "Peppers equals all colors needed." Fifth path. The broccoli bridge path ended at a small gap, like a dry riverbed. Across it stretched a bridge of broccoli stalks. The florets made little green trees, and the stalks were as thick as planks. Max tested it with his foot it held. "Broccoli is strong," he said. They crossed carefully, balancing on the bumpy tops. Halfway across, Mira whispered, "Broccoli has calcium, like milk. No wonder it feels like bones holding us up." When they reached the other side, the bridge folded back into the soil, as if it had only appeared for them. Sixth path. The tomato court in the center of the maze. They entered a courtyard where tomato vines grew high, their fruits red and heavy. A fountain bubbled in the middle, not with water, but with tomato juice, flowing fresh and tangy. A voice rose, "Tomatoes bring strength for hearts and shields against heat, but only sharers may drink." Max looked around. Workers from the town had followed behind, curious about the maze. He scooped tomato juice into small cups and handed them out. Mira shared slices from the vines. Everyone drank together, and the fountain glowed brighter, opening the final gate. Mira smiled. Tomatoes wanted community. The golden got to eat last. They reached the end of the maze. A tall archway of golden corn stalks shimmered in the light. The gardener waited there, leaning on his hoe. "You passed," he said warmly. "Not because you were fast, but because you noticed, tasted, and shared." Max held up a cucumber slice. "The maze fed us lessons." Mira added, "Every vegetable has a path to follow, if we care enough to listen." The gardener handed them a new seed pouch, smaller than the last, but glowing faintly. "Plant these in your library of seeds. They are maize seeds. They remind us that patience, sharing, and kindness open every path." Returning to the hillback at the library of seeds, they planted the maize seeds in a special bed. As they grew, the plants formed little hedges shaped like a miniature maze. Children from the town ran through it, learning to water lettuce, taste carrots, and share tomatoes. Each corner whispered lessons: patience, guidance, variety, strength, community. The mayor visited and declared, "This library is becoming more than food. It is becoming our school." Max and Mira felt proud. They had walked the maze, But now everyone could walk it to Dot evening reflection that night. The silver pigeon perched again on their window, silent this time. It didn't bring a note, just watched them with knowing eyes. Mira opened her notebook, full of scribbles, drawings, and lessons. Max leaned back, metal shining in the moonlight. We've been to the fruit valley and the vegetable maze, Mira whispered. Max nodded. And every time, the rainbow grows bigger. The pigeon ruffled its feathers, then took flight into the night sky, leaving only the faint sound of wings, a promise of more adventures waiting. Max and Mira drifted into dreams of lettuce lanes, cucumber tunnels, and pepper passages glowing in all directions. They dreamed of children laughing in the mini maze on the hill, their mouths full of rainbow bites. And somewhere, deep in their hearts, they knew the journey had only just begun. The morning sun shone bright, but the air carried a different smell, warm, toasty, almost like fresh bread. Max sniffed and sat up in bed. Do you smell that? He asked. Mira nodded, rubbing her eyes. It smells like a bakery dream. On the windowsill, the silver pigeon had returned. This time, it carried not a note, but a tiny pouch of golden grains. The pouch jingled softly, like sand that wanted to sing. Mira untied the string and peeked inside. Wheat kernels, oats, rice grains, and barley seeds sparkled in the morning light. A scrap of parchment lay folded beneath them. Mira read aloud, "Not all rainbows grow on trees or vines. Some hide in humble grains. Follow their song, and you will learn the rhythm of lasting strength." Max clapped his hands. We've had fruits and vegetables. Now it's the turn of grains. Mira grinned. Let's find the singers. Journey to the milk. Higher parents packed them snacks, apple slices, carrot sticks, and a jar of hummus. Their mom added 2 small rolls of bread, still warm. Bread is steady fuel, she explained. It keeps you running even after fruit sugar fades. They followed the pigeon down winding roads until they reached a field of golden wheat. Stalks swayed in the breeze like waves in the sea. The pigeon swooped down and perched on a fence post, waiting. Max touched the wheat heads gently. It really does look like it's singing, he whispered. The wind rushed through, making a sound like thousands of tiny shakers. Mira pulled out her notebook. The song of the grains. She wrote. At the far end of the field stood an old stone mill. It will turn slowly, powered by a small river. The mill's door creaked open, and a kind miller appeared, flour dusting his apron. Welcome, little travelers, he said. The grains have been waiting. Wheats whisper inside the mill. Sacks of grains stood stacked like towers. The miller handed Max a handful of wheat kernels. They were small, golden, and hard. Wheat, the kernels whispered softly, brings steady energy. We carry complex carbohydrates, slow and strong fuel. Eat us in bread or pasta, and your body won't tire too quickly. Max chewed a few roasted kernels the miller offered. They were nutty and warm. It tastes like strength you can walk on, he said. Mira scribbled. Wheat equals slow, steady fuel. Oats lullaby. Next, the miller gave Mira a bowl of oats. They were pale and soft, like tiny boats. The oats sang a gentle tune, like a lullaby. Oats calm the heart and steady the sugar in your blood. We keep you full, warm, and ready. In porridge, in cookies, in bread, we hug you from the inside. Mira smiled, tasting a spoonful of oat porridge with honey. It's like being wrapped in a blanket, she said. She wrote, oats equals belly hugs plus calm energy. Rice's rhythm. I moved to a sack of rice. The grains glimmered white and long. The whisper here was lively, almost like drums. I am rice. I give quick energy when you need to move fast. White rice is a quick spark, while brown rice is a steady flame. Together, we fill bellies across the world. The miller handed them rice balls wrapped in seaweed. Max bit into one and grinned. It's like running on clouds. Mira agreed. Fuel for adventures. She wrote, rice equals quick spark plus steady flame. Barley's strength last. They touched barley grains round and plump. Their voice was deep, like a steady drumbeat. Barley gives fiber, strength for digestion, and helps keep the heart healthy. In soups, in bread, in stews, we remind you that strength is slow and kind. They tasted a barley stew simmering in the miller's pot. It was chewy and hearty. Max patted his belly. Barley is like an anchor, strong, steady, safe. Mira scribbled. Barley equals anchor strength. The grain song together, Miller clapped his hands. Now listen to them together. He poured a handful of each grain, wheat, oats, rice, and barley into a wooden bowl. As they touched, the whispers blended into a harmony, wheat's steady hum, oats' soft lullaby, rice's quick drums, barley's deep beat. It sounded like music, like a heartbeat turned into song. The song of the grains, Mira whispered, enchanted. It's like a rainbow for strength. Sharing the lesson, they carried small sacks of grains back to the library of seeds. There, they planted a corner just for grains. Soon, little stalks of wheat, oat patches, rice paddies, and barley rows began to grow. Children came to see, surprised. But these aren't colorful, one girl said. Mira explained, not all rainbows shine with color. Some shine with strength you feel inside. Max added, they're like invisible rainbows feeding a steady energy, calm hugs, quick sparks, and anchor strength. They showed the kids how to grind grains into flour, roll oats, and cook rice. Families began adding more whole grains to meals, feeling the difference in their energy. Evening reflection at night, as the moon rose. Max and Mira sat by their window with bowls of oatmeal, topped with berries. Fruits bring sparks of magic, Max said. Vegetables bring paths of discovery. And grains bring music, Mira added. The song that keeps us going. The silver pigeon perched on the sill, leaving another shimmering feather. Then it flew off, carrying the harmony of the grain song into the night. The morning was cool and misty. A fog rolled through the town, soft as milk poured from a jug. Max yawned and stretched, while Mira scribbled last night's dream into her notebook, a mountain made of white clouds, with rivers of milk and caves of cheese. When they sat down for breakfast, their mom served them yogurt with honey and slices of pear. Good for bellies, good for bones, she said with a wink. As they ate, the silver pigeon arrived again. This time, it carried a smooth stone that looked like marble, pale with streaks of gold. Carved into it were words, climb the dairy mountain. There you will find foods of white strength. Listen to their lessons of bones, balance, and growth. Max's eyes widened. It's the mountain from Mira's dream. Mira clutched the stone. Then we must go today. The climb begins. They packed cucumbers, apples, and bread for snacks. Their dad added a small thermos of warm milk. Strength for the climb, he said. They followed the pigeon out of town toward the hills. Soon, the mist grew thicker until it felt like they were walking through clouds. Ahead, a mountain rose tall and white, glowing in the sunlight. Its slopes shimmered as if dusted with snow. Though it was warm, the air smelled faintly of cream and butter. Dairy Mountain, Mira whispered. The river of milk at the base. They found a flowing river not of water, but of milk. It sparkled silver white, smooth and endless. A wooden bridge crossed it, guarded by a gentle cow with big brown eyes. Around her neck hung a bell that chimed softly. Welcome, children, the cow said in a deep, calm voice. To cross, you must know my gift. Mira thought carefully. Milk gives calcium. It builds bones and teeth strong. Max added, and it makes muscles steady. The cow nodded. True, milk is strength for growth. Drink and carry it with you. She offered them cups filled from the river. They sipped cool, creamy, soothing. The bridge lowered, and they crossed, their steps steady. The cheese caves farther up the mountain. They reached a cliff dotted with caves. Inside each, wheels of cheese glowed golden or pale. The smell was sharp yet comforting. A mouse in a tiny apron greeted them. Cheese carries protein and calcium, the mouse squeaked. It is strong food, but also food of patience, because it takes time to age. Max tasted a slice of cheddar the mouse offered. Sharp but delicious. Mira nibbled soft mozzarella. Gentle and stretchy, the mouse bowed. Remember, strength grows slowly. Like cheese. They left with a piece wrapped in paper, carrying its lesson. The yogurt poolsheiger up. Steam rose from natural pools, but when they looked closer, the pools were not water, they were yogurt. Thick and creamy, swirling gently. A goat stood nearby, white beard long and wise. Yogurt is alive, the goat said. Tiny helpers inside keep bellies balanced. They are called probiotics. They fight bad germs and keep your tummy calm. The children dipped spoons into the yogurt pools. The taste was tangy and fresh. Mira sighed happily. It feels like my stomach is smiling. Max giggled. Like tiny heroes marching inside me. They filled a small jar to bring home. The butter meadow sat a plateau. The grass shone yellow. Flowers dripped golden liquid. And butterflies with wings like pats of butter fluttered around. A woman with braids of straw churned cream in a barrel. Here lies butter, she said warmly. Energy in small bites. Use it sparingly, and it gives warmth and flavor. Max spread a little butter on bread from their pack. The taste was rich and smooth, like sunshine caught in a blanket. Mira nodded. Butter teaches balance, not too much, not too little. The ice cream summit at last. They reached the top of Dairy Mountain. There, in a shining palace of crystal, stood fountains of ice cream in every flavor. Strawberry, vanilla, chocolate, mango, blueberry. Children from other towns laughed and played, each holding cones that glistened like jewels. A gentle voice filled the air. Even treats can teach. Ice cream is joy in small scoops. It reminds us to celebrate, but not to overdo. Max licked a strawberry scoop. Cold happiness. Mira tried mango. Like frozen sunshine, they laughed until their lips turned pink with chill. The return in their way down. The pigeon swooped close, carrying another note. Dairy gives strength to bones, patience to hearts, balance to bellies, and joy to moments. Planted seeds of knowledge in your library. Back at the Library of Seeds, they built a white stone circle called the Dairy Corner. There, they placed drawings and lessons. Milk for bones, cheese for patience, yogurt for balance, butter for careful use, and ice cream for celebration. Children visited, learning not just to eat, but to understand. Evening reflection that night. Max and Mira sipped warm milk with cinnamon. The mountain taught us balance, Mira said. And patience, Max added. Even joy, Mira smiled. The pigeon left another silver feather on the sill. Outside, the moon looked like a round wheel of cheese in the sky, watching over them kindly. Max yawned. What do you think comes next? Mira closed her notebook. Whatever it is, we'll climb it together. They fell asleep dreaming of rivers of milk, caves of cheese, and rainbows stretching even through clouds. The morning light streamed through the curtains, carrying with it a scent that didn't belong to their kitchen, something warm, peppery, and mysterious. Max sniffed. Do you smell that? Mira nodded, wide-eyed. It smells like curry and cinnamon at the same time. On the windowsill, the silver pigeon had returned. This time, it carried a small wooden box. Inside lay little glass jars, each filled with colorful powders, red, yellow, green, and brown. A note rested beneath them. Travel east to the Garden of Spices. Learn how tiny things can carry big powers. Bring their lessons home to flavor the rainbow. Max bounced on his heels. Spices, they're like secret magic powders. Mira grinned. Then today we'll learn their spells. Journey to the spice garden. Their parents packed lentil stew with bread, plus apples for dessert. Spices make food sing, their mom explained, but they also help our bodies in ways we don't always see. They followed the pigeon down winding roads until the air grew warmer and richer. Soon they reached a valley where rows of plants grew, not tall like corn or vines, but low and bushy, each with a distinct smell. Colorful flags fluttered above, marking the place. The garden of spices. At the gate stood an old woman with bright eyes and a scarf dotted with stars. "Welcome, children," she said. "Here, flavor is medicine, and medicine is flavor. Walk gently and listen to the whispers. Cinnamon's warmth the first reached tall, thin trees with curling bark. The air smelled sweet and fiery. A strip of bark spoke softly, 'I am cinnamon. I warm your body and help balance sugar. Sprinkle me, and you will feel steady.' The woman brewed them warm milk with cinnamon. They sipped, and Mira smiled. 'It tastes like hugs on cold mornings.' Max nodded. 'And it makes me want to dance.' Mira wrote, 'Cinnamon equals warmth plus balance. Ginger's fire next.' They found knobby roots pushing out of the ground. Ginger whispered sharply, 'I fight colds and help bellies when they ache. I bring fire without flame.' The woman sliced thin pieces, steeping them in hot water. Max sipped first. His face scrunched. Spicy lightning. Mira giggled, but felt the heat spread warmly through her chest. She wrote, 'Ginger equals fire healer. Turmeric's glow farther along. Golden roots peeked from the soil.' Their voices were calm, but strong. 'I am turmeric. I fight swelling and pain. My golden color carries healing. Mix me with milk, and I shine.' They tasted turmeric milk bright yellow, earthy. Mira whispered, 'Like drinking sunshine medicine.' Max nodded, writing, 'Turmeric equals golden healer.' Mint's cool breath next came rows of mint leaves, bright and green. They shimmered in the sun, and their whispers tickled. 'I cool heat, calm bellies, and freshen breath. I am small, but I refresh like rivers.' The children chewed fresh mint leaves. Max sighed. 'It's like a cold breeze in my mouth.' Mira laughed. 'Like brushing teeth in a garden.' She wrote, 'Mint equals cooling calm.' Pepper sparks at the end stood pepper vines, climbing poles, and heavy with tiny black pearls. Their voices were quick and sharp. 'We are pepper. We wake up flavors, wake up bodies. We make other foods stronger.' The woman ground some pepper over their stew. The taste popped, sharper and richer. Max exclaimed, 'Like fireworks on beans.' Mira nodded, writing, 'Pepper equals AWAKENE or dot.' The spice lessons sat under a tree, eating their lentil stew sprinkled with cinnamon, ginger, turmeric, mint, and pepper. Each spoonful tasted alive, warm, fresh, fiery, golden, and bright. The woman said, 'Remember, spices are small but mighty. Too much can burn, but just enough can heal. They teach balance, patience, and respect.' Mira closed her notebook, full of colorful notes. 'Spices are like tiny teachers.' Max added, 'Each one is a different kind of magic.' Returning to the library of seeds back at the hill, they built the spice circle. Small pots grew mint and turmeric. Drawings of cinnamon sticks, ginger roots, and pepper vines decorated the library walls. Children came, curious. Max handed out cups of warm cinnamon milk. 'This warms and steadies,' he explained. Mira gave them mint leaves. 'This cools and calms.' Families learned to add little pinches to meals, discovering how flavors could heal. Evening reflection at night. Their mom cooked spice rice with turmeric and cinnamon. Their dad brewed ginger tea. Flavors carry stories, he said. Max licked his spoon. 'Spices are fireworks and blankets together.' Mira added, 'And each tiny pinch writes a story in our bodies.' The pigeon left another feather, glowing faintly green this time. It seemed to hum like mint in the breeze. Max and Mira drifted to sleep, dreaming of glowing golden roots, fiery ginger sparks, and mint rivers cooling their steps. ****. The town woke to excitement. Bells chimed, children laughed in the streets, and the air smelled of bread, fruits, and flowers. A message had spread quickly. Today would be the Feast of the Rainbow. Every family was invited to the Library of Seeds on the hill. Max and Mira opened their window to see neighbors carrying baskets. Some held apples and pears, others carrots and peppers. Jars of yogurt clinked, pots of rice steamed, and bundles of herbs swayed like flags. On the windowsill, The silver pigeon perched proudly, one last note tied to its leg. Mira untied it and read aloud. The rainbow is complete. Gather colors, grains, dairy, and spices. Share them together, and the golden key will reveal itself. The feast is the ending and the beginning. Max's eyes shone. This is it, the last adventure. Mira nodded, hugging her notebook. And the biggest lesson. Preparing the feast at the hill. The library of seeds stood alive and glowing. The fruit trees bowed heavy with gifts. The vegetable beds whispered in rows. The grain patch swayed like music, and the spice circle shimmered with scents. Even the dairy corner seemed brighter, as though milk and cheese had joined the celebration. The mayor welcomed everyone. Today we build one table for all, a table that tastes like health, joy, and kindness. Max and Mira guided the children, showing them how to build rainbow plates, red tomatoes and apples, orange carrots and sweet potatoes, yellow corn and peppers, green cucumbers, beans and herbs, blue and purple grapes, plums and blueberries, white and brown mushrooms, garlic, bread, and grains. They added yogurt drizzles, cheese cubes, and warm milk with cinnamon, pinches of mint, and pepper sprinkled over dishes. Every color and flavor found a place. The arrival of the golden carotas, the table filled. The silver pigeon swooped down. In its beak glowed the golden carrot, shining brighter than before. It set it gently in the center of the feast. The golden carrot pulsed once, twice, then split open, not like food, but like a lantern. Inside glowed a small golden key. It shimmered with every color of the rainbow. Gasps filled the crowd. The mayor lifted it carefully. The rainbow key, she whispered. But what does it unlock? Mira thought. Not a door, not a box. It unlocks us. Max added. It reminds us that the rainbow is inside our bodies when we eat, share, and care. The key floated upward, dissolving into sparks that rained gently over everyone. Each spark settled on a person's heart, glowing for a moment before fading. The golden carrot hushed back into an ordinary carrot, still sweet and crunchy, but its magic had already spread. The feast begins. Families gathered around the long table. They passed bowls and plates, laughing and thanking each other. Children tried new foods bravely, guided by Max and Mira's words. Peppers are sun jackets, Max reminded. Blueberries are tiny tutors, Mira added. Carrots sparkle your eyes. Rice gives quick sparks and steady flames. Each lesson became part of the laughter. The table glowed with more than food, it glowed with friendship. The shadow fox even appeared at the edge of the hill. Instead of hunger in its eyes, there was curiosity. Max offered it a beet slice. Mira held out a grape. Slowly, carefully, the fox ate. Its golden eyes softened, reflecting the rainbow table. It curled nearby, not taking more than offered, simply resting. Stories around the table after bellies were full. Families began sharing stories. An old woman told how ginger tea healed her cough. A boy shared how spinach helped him feel strong for soccer. A farmer explained how planting beans taught him patience. Mira read from her notebook, now thick with drawings and lessons. Max added funny jokes about bananas slipping and broccoli flexing muscles. Laughter rolled across the hill. The mayor raised her voice. This is more than a feast. It is a promise. Every family here will eat the rainbow, share its lessons, and teach others. Our town will shine with health and kindness. Cheers erupted, echoing like bells. Evening glow as the sun set. Lanterns lit the hill. The rainbow table, now mostly empty, still looked beautiful. Streaks of sauce, scattered seeds, and crumbs of bread told the story of joy shared. Children ran with grape-stained smiles. Parents relaxed, and even the shadow fox yawned contentedly. The silver pigeon perched one last time on the library arch. It cooed softly, then flew high into the sky, its wings glowing like silver moons. Max and Mira waved. Thank you, they shouted. The last lesson at home, the siblings sat by their window with their parents. Their medals glowed faintly in the lamplight. The basil plant was lush and tall, and the tomato vine bore bright red fruit. Max asked, "Do you think there will be more adventures?" Mira smiled, "Always. Every meal is an adventure. Every color is a new story." Their mom kissed their foreheads. "The rainbow lives inside you now." Their dad added, "And when you share it, it never fades." Mira closed her notebook with a final line. "The rainbow key is not a thing we find. It is a way we live." Max whispered, "Rainbow guardians forever." They clinked glasses of water, the simplest drink, the road for every color. Then they drifted into sleep, dreaming of tables that stretched across the world. Children in every land tasting fruits, vegetables, grains, dairy, and spices, tasting health, tasting kindness, tasting the rainbow.